Welcome back to Leadership 365 podcast with LaScott Ellis, and we're going to be discussing the 10 Commandments being put into Louisiana schools. Many families have expressed some discontent with the 10 Commandments being put into the Louisiana school system. And then also, too, there are a lot of families who are excited about it. So why is it that some families have an issue with the 10 Commandments being placed in schools? Well, for some families, they feel like it's discriminatory because although we all might worship, we sometimes worship in different ways. Some families have different religions. Not everybody's a Christian in this nation, and that's one of the things that makes our nation so beautiful. Some families feel that it might actually incite people with different religions to be more ashamed, to be afraid, and not feel included. You got to be very careful with these things because although we have differences, we need to also teach that it's okay for us to have differences, that we have a responsibility to educate our kids on exactly how they're supposed to interact with one another when they have differences of opinions or differences in thoughts and differences in religion. It's okay to be different. And we have to go back to that. We got to go back to letting people know that not everybody has to think the same as you, believe the same as you, and even act or worship the same as you. It's not necessary to create a great nation. All of us are part of this tapestry. All of us are part of the fabric that helped to make up this country into what it is. So if someone doesn't believe as you do, that's fine. I'm a Christian. Now, with that being said, I also too believe that everyone should be included. It should not just be left up to one person or one sect or one religion to dictate how everybody else moves, thinks, and acts. I think the beautiful thing about the 10 Commandments and the beautiful thing about God is He gave all of us free will. He gave us all the opportunity to choose. We can choose exactly what it is that we want. And I'm very firmly against taking away people's right to choose away from them. So the next time you find yourself in an argument, or somebody isn't listening to someone else's point of view because of their religion, race, or creed, just remember, we have a responsibility to one another, to teach tolerance, to teach people that it's okay for people to think differently than you. Just because you wouldn't personally do something doesn't mean that you should want to take away someone else's right. But if you're firm in your convictions, be firm in your convictions. Be firm in who you are. Know who you are and know what you represent. The other thing that I find interesting is that the governor made a statement that if parents have an issue with their kids seeing the 10 Commandments in school, they should, quote, tell them not to look. This remark sparked some outrage. It's considered divisive, and it's considered this type of exclusion that a lot of families were worried about. Just telling people, if you don't like it, just don't look. Yeah, that's easy for you to say. And again, I go back to, I myself am a Christian. I myself believe, but I also too believe in tolerance, and I also too believe that we ought to be accommodating to one another. There are some families that feel like they want learning environments to be just that, learning environments. They want to try to keep down as much confusion from the outside world and keep out as much bigotry as possible. They put their kids on school buses and send them to school so that they can learn, so that they can play, they can be accepted, so that they can understand, so they can grow and be who they're supposed to be. And they want to know too that their religions and that their thoughts and their points of view are being respected as well. So this is an opportunity for us to learn. This is an opportunity for us to grow. Part of leadership is taking advantage of these opportunities. It's riding a wave, figuring out where we fit and how we can get in and help. One thing that we can do is teach tolerance. Teach us to respect one another. Teach us to love one another. And if we can do that, then we can make the impact that we need to make this world better.